If correct, that is a very discourteous to this House. I take it very seriously. Or it could well be that it's been leaked, in which case I hope there will be an inquiry to what has happened here. I will therefore ask the Prime Minister to look into what has happened in this case and report back to me and to the House as soon as possible.
Keir Starmer always believed he could act without consequences, from scandals to controversies and even outright lies. He thought he and his government were untouchable. But that illusion just shattered. The Speaker of Parliament has publicly humiliated Starmer for violating the ministerial code, a serious breach that couldn't be ignored. And it didn't end there. The Speaker went a step further, demanding Starmer initiate an inquiry into his own actions and present the findings directly to Parliament. But what exactly did Starmer do to spark such a dramatic response? And how was he forced to apologize to someone he can't even stand? In this video, we uncover the full story. As tensions rose inside the chamber, one thing became clear at the heart of this scandal was a blatant breach of the ministerial code. This wasn't some minor oversight or a technical error. It was a direct attack on the integrity of parliamentary procedure, one that demanded accountability at the highest level. Keir Starmer's defense spending statement was leaked to the media before members of Parliament even had a chance to review it. While some might dismiss this as a simple mistake, it was in fact a clear and serious violation of established rules regarding the handling of government statements. According to the Ministerial Code, the full unredacted version of any oral statement must first be provided to the Speaker of the House before it is made public. Additionally, the statement must be electronically sent to the Opposition Chief Whip's office at least 45 minutes prior to the announcement. Most importantly, under no circumstances should the contents be released to the press before Parliament that has had the opportunity to scrutinize it. In simple terms, the media and analysts are not allowed to debate or discuss a government statement before it is officially presented to Parliament and the public.
Before we start, the government's own ministerial code says that a text of statement should be provided in advance to the opposition and to the Speaker. It does not provide for the text to be redacted. I am particularly concerned at the reports that some of the redacted information was provided to the media in advance. If correct, that is a very discourteous to this House. I take it very seriously. Or it could well be that it's been leaked.
Starmer's government blatantly ignored these rules, giving sections of the defense statement to the media before the Speaker or the opposition had a chance to review it. Many believe this leak was intentional, a calculated move to generate media hype and portray Starmer's defense spending as strong and aligned with the demands of figures like Donald Trump. But what made things even worse was this: the version presented to Parliament was redacted. Sensitive information had been removed, meaning MPs were deliberately denied access to the full details. This raised serious questions about transparency, integrity, and accountability, whether it was a careless oversight or a deliberate attempt to control the political narrative. One thing is clear: it was an insult to Parliament and a breach of trust. The response from Speaker Sir Lindsay Hoyle was swift and uncompromising. When Parliament reconvened, Sir Lindsay delivered a scathing rebuke, openly condemning Keir Starmer for his blatant disregard of parliamentary protocol. In front of the entire House, the Speaker called out the violation in no uncertain terms, stressing that the ministerial code clearly requires all statements to be provided, without redactions, to both the Speaker and the opposition. What made matters worse, he noted, was that some of the redacted content had already been leaked to the media before MPs had seen it. Sir Lindsay branded this a direct act of disrespect toward Parliament and a serious breach of the trust that underpins its procedures.
I will therefore ask the Prime Minister to look into what has happened in this case and report back to me and to the House as soon.
The Speaker's message was crystal clear. He would not tolerate a Prime Minister who bypasses proper parliamentary procedure. His call for a formal inquiry into the leak left Starmer cornered, with no room to escape accountability. Faced with public embarrassment, Starmer was forced to rise and issue an apology, something he clearly did not wish to do. His attempt to minimize the severity of the incident fell flat, as he claimed the leak was unintentional and promised to investigate. But his reassurances rang hollow. The damage was already done, and many in the chamber and beyond were unconvinced by his carefully worded response.
Mr. Speaker, can I begin by giving my word to this House that this was not given to the media?
Absolutely.
I will absolutely have an inquiry into this, but I would not be that discourteous. I spoke to you this morning, Mr. Speaker. I wouldn't be discourteous to you or to the Leader of the Opposition in that way, or to the House, and I give you that assurance from this dispatch box.
For a politician who has spent years lecturing others on rules, integrity, and ethics, being publicly called out for breaking those very standards was poetic justice. Starmer's apology wasn't just humiliating, it shattered the carefully crafted image of a principled leader promising transparency and accountability. This wasn't leadership. It was damage control.
And I apologise to the Leader of the Opposition, and I will make that inquiry.
Starmer tried to downplay the scandal by announcing an internal inquiry, but instead of calming concerns, it raised even more troubling questions. How did such a leak occur under his leadership? Was it gross incompetence, evidence that his government is so disorganized it can't even manage official statements? Or was it a calculated move to manipulate public opinion by feeding selective information to the media before Parliament could challenge it? Either way, the damage is done. This incident exposes a deeper truth. Starmer is not in control of his own government. His grip on authority is slipping and the cracks are starting to show. Just hours after the scandal erupted, Labour's International Development Minister Annalise Dodds resigned in protest. Her departure was a direct response to Keir Starmer's controversial decision to cut foreign aid spending to fund a defence budget hike. This wasn't just a resignation, it was a powerful public act of defiance, and it sent a clear message. Discontent is growing fast within Labour's own ranks. The party is spiralling into chaos. Ministers are openly challenging Starmer's decisions. Party members are increasingly frustrated, and the government is struggling to maintain any sense of unity. For a prime minister who brands himself as strong and decisive, the reality is strikingly different. His administration looks fractured, reactionary, and incapable of maintaining discipline even within its own cabinet. Before we dive deeper, a quick question: are you enjoying this video? If yes, please like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more exclusive updates on the seismic shifts happening in British politics. Now, let's continue. One of the most disturbing elements of this scandal is the redaction of Starmer's defense statement. It raises an unavoidable question. Why did the government choose to censor key parts of the announcement? What was Keir Starmer trying to hide from Parliament? It has now come to light that Starmer's major defence spending announcement wasn't really about UK national security. Instead, it was a carefully staged political move aimed at impressing Donald Trump. Reports suggest Starmer's team meticulously planned the timing and framing of the announcement as part of a broader strategy to curry favour with Trump. Incredibly, even us officials were kept in the dark until the final moment. Insiders now confirm this wasn't policy, it was politics. Starmer was so desperate to gain Trump's approval that he prioritized military spending at the cost of slashing aid to the world's poorest nations. The government feared that revealing the true political motive behind the defense budget, increased to win favor with Donald Trump, would provoke backlash in Parliament. So, instead of being transparent, they redacted key sections of the official statement. This explains why Starmer's team leaked selective portions of the announcement to the media beforehand. Their goal: to generate positive headlines about boosting defense while hiding the real reason behind the decision. But the plan spectacularly backfired. Instead of controlling the narrative, the leak exposed the government's dishonesty and forced Starmer into an embarrassing public retreat. It didn't look like strength, it looked like damage control. What's more troubling, this isn't an isolated incident. It fits a worrying pattern. Time and again, Keir Starmer has shown a tendency to bend the rules, dismiss accountability, and act as if the standards he holds others to don't apply to him. He talks about integrity, but his actions paint a very different picture.
We all found the rules frustrating at times, and I'm no exception to that. I had to isolate 6 times during COVID, pulling me away from my work and the things that I love. But I did it because we followed the rules. The idea that I would then casually break those rules is wrong. And frankly, I don't believe those accusing me believe it themselves. They are just trying to feed cynicism, to get the public to believe all politicians are the same. I'm here to say that they're not. I believe in honour, integrity, and the principle that those who make the laws must follow them. And I believe that politicians who undermine that principle undermine trust in politics, undermine our democracy, and undermine Britain.
This is the same Keir Starmer who once misled voters about Labour's economic policies, making grand promises only to abandon them the moment they became politically inconvenient. He has reversed course on key pledges, betraying the very people who trusted his leadership. Worse still, his government has been accused of pressuring the media to suppress criticism, burying damaging stories to protect his carefully crafted image of honesty and transparency. But now, with his latest blunder violating parliamentary protocol and being publicly forced to apologize by the Speaker, Starmer's hypocrisy has been laid bare once again. For a man who built his reputation on integrity and accountability, the truth is increasingly clear. The image doesn't match the reality.
My thoughts are with all of those who did the right thing and for whom this is a real slap in the face. They made the most unimaginable, heart-wrenching sacrifices, and many were overcome by guilt at not seeing elderly relatives, not going to funerals or weddings, or even seeing the birth of their own children. But the guilty men are the Prime Minister and the Chancellor. They've dishonoured all of that sacrifice. They've dishonoured their office. This is the first time in the history of our country that a Prime Minister has been found to be in breach of the law. And then he lied repeatedly to the public about it. Britain deserves better.
Starmer is rapidly proving to be just another politician who exploits the system while pretending to uphold it. The fact that the Speaker of the House had to publicly compel him to apologize is damning enough. A strong leader doesn't need to be reminded of the rules. A competent leader doesn't need to be called out for withholding information from Parliament. Starmer's conduct reveals a deeper truth. He cannot be trusted to uphold even the most basic principles of democratic governance. This scandal is not just a moment of embarrassment. It's a serious red flag about the state of his leadership. He has now been exposed as a Prime Minister who breaks the rules, lacks control over his own government, and avoids taking real responsibility for his actions, rather than standing firm on the values he once championed. Starmer has turned to deception, mismanagement, and political spin to keep his shaky administration intact. But the cracks are becoming impossible to ignore. Labour is increasingly fractured, senior figures are speaking out, and now, with Annalise Dodds resigning in protest over Starmer's reckless foreign aid cuts, the internal dissent is turning into open rebellion. Starmer's government is starting to look less like a united front and more like a chaotic, disjointed mess. His credibility is crumbling, and his leadership is now being questioned not just by the opposition, but by members of his own party. Even the Speaker of the House has made it unmistakably clear Starmer's conduct is unacceptable. When a Prime Minister is forced to apologize in front of Parliament, it's not just a momentary embarrassment. It's the sign of a government in freefall. The real question now is, how much longer can Starmer hold on before his own party turns on him? His authority is collapsing. His policies are being rushed through without transparency, and his credibility is hanging by a thread. The Speaker's harsh rebuke wasn't just about a single incident. It was a symbol of something far deeper. A government losing control, and a leader no longer trusted to lead. And now, the British public is starting to take notice. What do you think? Was the defense statement leaked on purpose? Is this a case of incompetence or something even worse? A government that no longer cares about the rules? Let us know in the comments. Do you believe Keir Starmer will order a truly independent inquiry, or will someone else be thrown under the bus? If you want to see more bold and honest analysis on the shifting landscape of British politics, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Until next time, stay tuned.